Hi guys, this is Joe Cervantes with Zybex Systems, North Central Territory Sales Manager. I'm here at LG and E, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of let Matea introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Matea Kirk. I'm a mechanical engineer here at the Trimble County plant. Just kind of someone that wanted to redo an office space, and I got in touch with Joe, and so we kind of got to walk through everything and see what we could have done. And so I got to see Joe work her magic.
Yeah. So let's talk about the beginning process of this. They had a vision. You guys had a vision,
Yeah.
right? You guys had a vision. They kind of knew what they wanted, and coming into the room at the beginning stages of it, um, it was a completely different layout than what we currently see right here. But what was awesome is that you guys were kind of open to ideas and kind of feedback, and talk about what the usage was or what you guys wanted to come out of this.
So this building was built in the 80s, and then we did well, I didn't, but we had a crew come in and redo this room in the early mid 2010s era, I think. But at the time, everything was brown. And that my whole goal was to make sure all the brown went away, something a little bit more professional. Everything was kind of closed off in this area, so it was nicer to get input from everyone here to see what all ideas they would like to come up with. Originally, all of the desks were kind of back to back, so everybody was closed off in their own little area. Where they still have privacy, but it's still open enough to be able to speak to one another, because there's only going to be normally 2 people in this office. So I ended up talking to our production manager. I ended up talking to our production supervisor as well. We kind of got a few meetings together to kind of go through the list of what people were looking for, space-wise, storage-wise. Even the color palette, I did ask if anything gray or black, and they said honestly anything but brown is fine. So I was like, that works for me, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do, eliminate. So I mean, this is just more than we didn't know what to expect, because normally when we get to order things, it's just some normal from a catalog. And our commercial manager, actually, I think you all had gotten in touch with her, and she had emailed me, and I was like, this is perfect. I was like, perfect timing. So I reached out to Marcy, I think, to reach out to you and to be able to get a meeting, because I didn't really know what ergonomic furniture meant, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. And then whenever you kind of showed us the layouts at other facilities, I was like, this would be perfect, especially you were talking about having a dual level desk. That's something I hadn't really heard of. I mean, obviously a standing desk, but I was like, whenever you think of ergonomic, I was like, I don't know what to think of at all.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting to see the different varieties of desks we could choose from. To me, I kind of had an idea of what I thought the guys would want. And then whenever they actually got to see it and play around with their desk, they were really impressed with it. And it was funny just seeing what all components are used for the desk, because I actually worked and went to school with people that you all get the components from too. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was like, now I know where everything goes to. So it's kind of like a full circle moment. So it was really awesome to see.
Oh, that's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
It's I know where that's from, or how to utilize it. In the sense, but yeah, they got the dual surface workstations, which I thought is the most ergonomics. Going back to those ergonomics, being always ready to go and being able to use your monitors is always something that, operating from, you want to make sure that you're awake, alert, and you have that comfortability to be able to do your job, right? And I think having an environment, going back to that environment, is very important, and just the sense of belonging to and culture. And so being kind of how you're leveling everything out and trying to change everything, I think that's really sweet to pull back into, going to utilities. You want to make sure that people feel good when they're at work.
Yeah, that was something that, I mean, the age range is from very young to people in their 50s and 60s, and we even have some people in their 70s. And doesn't matter how old you are, you want them to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So and I mean, we have people here that have back issues or neck issues, had to have surgery. So it's something that we can use that's functional for them without having to be in pain.
Yeah.
Was something we were looking for. So that was something I really liked with the dual surface, because some people, we do have someone who just had surgery. He can't turn fully. So it made it a lot easier for him to be able to be comfortable to work at a desk. And
Mhm.
so that was something we really wanted to make sure is that it's not going to limit them
Right.
because, you don't want to be miserable while you're here. I mean, who wants to work really? You want to be on vacation, but if you're going to be here, you want to be happy enough. So
No, I totally agree. And going through the process with you and Trevor, I really loved revising the drawing and everything that we did because they got to put a little bit of touch on them. As you can see behind us, they have their own fridge right here, which we can cater to a lot of the needs that our customers needs. Obviously, we have our standard what we need and what we are able to offer, but we can cater to those little extra bits that kind of make it feel whole.
yeah, because we didn't really know. I mean, most of the time when we order furniture from companies, especially out of a catalog, I just had one where I had to, for just a simple table,
Mhm.
it didn't fit the room. And when I asked him, I was like, can we customize this size? He's like, I'm sorry, what we have is it. We
Mhm.
can't cut anything down. He's like, I could try to find you something that might fit. He was like, but we won't be able to for that size. Whereas with you all, I was able to send dimensions and get everything customized exactly what our specifications were.
Mhm.
And so that was really nice. And that was something that we hadn't had before. So that was something why Trevor and I had fought for this so hard to be able to get you all on site to install here. So it was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that, like having you know, the installers coming in and doing the work for you guys versus you guys putting it together.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference, like in the sense of, yes, this is more professional, more, it's not coming from a catalog or anything. Like, yes, you can see other references, but it's yours truly in the sense
Yeah.
of it's your own, it's customized to your room. I know you guys remodeled the whole room, added a whole room within the room. So it is really special to kind of see the transformation from the beginning stages to where we are at now.
Yeah. And I can tell just because we joke about people over here being grumpy. Honestly, the person that we thought might not like it as much, I was told they were like, as soon as he walked in, he was like, I really like this. And I was like, okay, let's record that. So let's get that again.
Let's make sure we note that one, bookmark it.
I was like, that means like everybody here likes it. And I was like, that really made me feel good because I was
Yeah.
like, you never know what you're going to get. Because you can't please everyone.
Right.
But with this, I haven't had any complaints. And I'm like,
Mhm.
maybe for this instance, you can please everyone. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's a win in my book.
No, I really appreciate you guys letting me be part of this project because it's honestly been so fun to work with. I know Jamie, our designer, loved this project. She was like, put me on.
Yeah, it was really awesome seeing Jamie work because I have friends that have done drafting or have worked with AutoCAD and other 2D, 3D, 4D. Never seen anything like what Jamie did. And the whole time I was just mesmerized because I was like, there's no way I could do this. And it was just so awesome to do it in real time.
Mhm.
Just because usually you never know, like you send something off or you send an email and you're like, okay, and then they come back and it's like, well, that's not really what we wanted.
Yeah.
But Jamie was able to actually go through and edit what we wanted, just kind of talk through it, see what would work, what wouldn't work. And then even when we did tell her what we wanted, when she sent something back, mostly it was
Yeah.
what we wanted. So I was like, this was really awesome to see because I was like, this was new. I had never seen that before.
Yeah. No, I think that was something, different thing that we're able to offer, obviously, when we work with our customers. Like we have someone come on site, me, and then being able to work with our designer, that designer sticks through the whole project until it's finished.
Yeah.
And then being able to communicate back and forth. Obviously love the open communication that we had.
Yeah.
Being able to either text, call, or email. We were always kind of like, we were very responsive, which I really appreciate because sometimes, I have some customers that are like, oh, I'm super busy. And it's like weeks and weeks. And they're like, well, we need it now. And I'm like, whoa. Like there was a time lapse right there. So like the open communication between you and me was just so nice to have. So
And it's really nice whenever I can talk to someone because there is a level of professionalism, but I felt like I was talking to a friend because I was just like, okay, we understand how busy things get.
Yeah.
And I mean, last night I texted you at like 7 o'clock and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to send this to you. I'm so sorry. And you're like, totally fine. I did too.
Yeah.
I was just like, I felt comfortable enough to talk to you. Whereas maybe with some, I would be like, well, I'll just wait until morning. Like, I won't want to disturb. Like, I'll do it in an email.
Yeah.
No, I could just shoot a text.
Yep.
It was super easy,
Mhm.
super convenient. communication back and forth for us too was really nice. Being able to, if we had to reschedule anything, you worked really well with us and vice versa. I just think it was really, I like the familiarity
Yes.
of being able to work with you all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's been an awesome project, and we're going to continue that.
Yeah.
So we're excited for what's to come in the next couple of years with, your operations on the other side. I think it's going to be a really fun project too, to kind of just see how it transforms from what it is now to what it's going to look like.
Oh yeah.
I think Trevor's super excited, so that will be excited to see.
I know our plant manager is excited too, because after she did a walkthrough in here, we had discussed with her upgrading our control room, and she was like, yeah. She was like, go ahead and get it going. And I was just like, oh, thank goodness. I was like, we can go ahead and start.
We'd love to hear that. So yeah, no, I'm really excited to kind of start that process. We've already started the process, but like see it through.
Yeah.
And get the finalized touches on that. So, I really appreciate you and your team and Trevor being able to cooperate with us and essentially be a partnership on this. So
Yeah. Well, thank you guys too.
yeah, I mean, if you have any like feedback or any, essentially, what would you be able to tell other utility like companies of like why it's important to essentially do what we did here?
I mean, a lot of the desks that we were using, some of them are broken. So, I mean, people had files that they needed to lock and things weren't locking. I mean, obviously being here, you need to keep a lot of things private. And so it was really nice to have someone that could customize this for us, because people here don't want to risk losing files. They don't want to risk anybody accidentally finding files for their specific team.
Okay.
And so with this upgrade, this helped with security, it helped the organization, it helped with making sure that everyone knew exactly where they needed to put their, we have equipment in some of these cabinets. We have just separate files in itself. I mean, to me, having something nice and being taken care of by your people, I think it makes the morale higher. Whereas I know another plant, their equipment is a lot older. Their desks, their computers, they're not getting what they need and they're not happy. So I think if you can keep it up to date, because I mean, this is different from 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I think keeping this updated, and even with here, this is stuff that I know we could keep 10, 15, 20 years. And I think, in my opinion, that this would still look up to date per se versus what everyone else has. It's simple but elegant, simple but industrial.
Yeah.
And that's really what we were going for here, because, and when I say simple, I mean just not, some of these guys, they're like, I don't want over the top, but it's not, but it's
Right.
like, oh, this is so nice. Like,
Yes.
it's not simple in the aspect of what most people would think. This is, I mean, it's durable.
Yeah.
It's, functional.
Important.
It's something that they can use, because let's be honest, the guys aren't always they're not going to be dainty with everything. So
Right.
it's going to keep up for many years. Multiple people will be coming in throughout these offices, because we'll have retirees and then we'll have more people coming in. So it will be good quality. And I think that this will help also with people wanting to come into this position in this room. They're like, oh, this is a nice area. Like it's an upgrade in their mind as well when they come in. So it's nice because, I mean, some of the desks here, they don't have a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we're running into that issue where we have a lot of people, but not enough
Space.
So I think this is really nice. It helps kind of give something to look forward to, because I mean, who wouldn't want a new area to be in? So it's nice whenever everything is upgraded for you already.
Yeah. No, I think that you kind of, hit that on the nail right here with bringing people together in a sense of morale. I think that's also very, very important, especially in utilities.
Yeah.
Especially in utilities. You want to make sure that this place is not only clean, but it's organized, and that everybody has their own space in the sense of coming in, they have their own cabinets, they have their own fridges, and they're able to do what they need to do in and out.
Yeah.
And like you said, people are going to retire. There's a wide range of age, and new people are going to come in, and it's going to be nice and new to them. It's not going to be a raggedy room where there's like an unstable desk that a filing cabinet may or may not work. We don't know. And with our experience, you know, our workstations have lasted 15 plus years. So like the durability is there.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you answering that question.
No problem. Well, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. You know, I'm always able to communicate with Natalia if you guys have any questions on what her role is and what she does here. Again, this is Joe with Zybex Systems, your North Central Territory Manager.